Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Isabella Mig, your friendly rheumatologist. And it's a pleasure to be live today. I'm just putting Instagram as well. So for those of you who do not know me, I'm Dr. Isabella Mig. I am French, as I cannot hide it with my French accent. And today we are going to talk about how to change our habits. I'm very good at that because I used to have very bad habits. I used to smoke. I used to eat processed food, and I used to not be that active. And all of those habits have changed, and I am much healthier now than I ever was. I'm a rheumatologist. I'm a double board certified in internal medicine as well as rheumatology. And in fact, I've done two trainings. One in France, where I completed my training in Paris and Lyon, and then came to New York City in the US, and did another training in residency and fellowship again in rheumatology, because that is the most incredible specialty I can ever be in. And I currently see patients in Colorado, in Denver, and Boulder. So if you are interested in coming to and be a patient of UnabridgedMD, it would be my honor. Now, today is special because it's the first live of 2026. And I am wishing you a wonderful new year. And I have been asked several times now what new resolution to take when we have an autoimmune or rheumatology condition. And I'm not a fan of resolution. I think that we can spend our lives making new resolution and actually not following through. And so what I want to offer you today is how we can change ourselves so that we actually become who we want to become. And what it starts with is actually deciding what and who you want to become. Have a very clear idea of who you want to be. If you are someone, and realizing also that the reason you may have things that you want to change is that there are also good things coming from that, right? So, for example, I'll give you my example. When I used to smoke, it took me a while to actually realize that I couldn't quit smoking until I realized how much I liked it. So that sounds really odd, but the number of patients that I have been able to help quit smoking is actually incredible. And I had some pulmonary doctors come to me and ask them, like, what did you say to this patient? I've been seeing this patient for 5 years. I've told them to quit every day. And here you are. And they said that you helped them quit. And the reason is basically saying, okay, what do you like in smoking, right? And so what you want to do is really like, who do you want to be? So if you're seeing yourself as someone that's active, as someone that's not like that's eating a very healthy diet, what are you going to miss? All right. So because that's really, really, really important. Who you want to be, but also that person, what are they going to potentially miss? Because you have to be okay with what you're missing. So for example, if you like to be in the water, in the ocean, you can like if you're in the middle of the ocean because that's what you want, it's going to be hard for you to also be in the mountain. Okay. And so it's a choice. All right. Once you have a clear vision of who you want to be, and so if it's, I want to be in remission, I want to be healthy. Healthy for me means that I am exercising on a regular basis, at least 30 to 40 minutes per day. Being healthy for me means that I am able to maybe be surrounded by the people who love me, and I am able to say no to those that are not in my highest good, right? That's important. Maybe it is I am getting massage on a regular basis. Maybe it's I'm going to eat non-processed food. So what does that mean, right? Then you go, okay, what does all of those that I'm seeing, like what I want to be, what are they? What does that mean for me? What do I need to do? So let's start with the exercise. I want to be someone that exercises regularly. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're getting a subscription to a gym? But then how do you make sure that you actually go? Do you block on your calendar when you're going to go? Do you wake up earlier because that's the only time you can go? Or are you deciding that you have an accountability partner and you're basically making that commitment to them as well? So for example, if you rock climb, I love rock climbing, as some of you know. If you rock climb, well, one of the things that I've realized is that if I tell another person that, hey, I'm going to be at the gym to rock climb with you, I cannot let them down, right? I cannot let them down because that would be unfair for them. I can let myself down somehow, and I don't want to do that, but I definitely don't want to let any of people around me to let them down, right? So you could find an accountability partner, and you want an accountability partner that's with you and willing to push you as well, right? And when it comes to food, well, if you're suddenly deciding, hey, I want to eat non-processed food, so I want to eat whole food, plant-based, for example, which we know is actually very healthy. Well, what does that mean? Do you actually know how to make those foods? Is that what you're going to buy when you go to the shop? Do you actually even shop? Do you have cooking utensils in your house? Do you know how to use them? Do they function? Right? And you look at all of those very specifically. When I said you're surrounding yourself with people who love you, and you're like shying away from the people who are draining your energy, what does that mean about you? Are you willing to do that work? Are you willing to say no? Because the truth is that you could actually say, hey, today I have a flare of my autoimmune condition. That's understood in life, but are you okay with having the response of like, oh, but you look great, why can't you help me? Are you able to say, well, look, I have a date with myself, right? I do that. I say that I have a date with myself. And so that's my time. It's not my kid's time. It's not my partner's time. It's not my patient's time. It's a date with myself. And I think that those are like some of the ideas, but before you can change yourself, and again, those are not resolution, those are much more powerful than resolution. It's really making a decision of who you are becoming and what you are shedding in the process. And you wouldn't know the number of time this is potentially, like, you actually realize by looking into it what you like. Again, smoking for me, it was actually a way to take a break when I was studying medicine. Right? Like it was a lot of studying, a lot of sitting down on my chair to study. And that allowed me to take some time off, and it also allowed me to meet other people. That was important. I had to let that go and to say, okay, what am I going to do to get that without a cigarette, right? And so I decided that I was going to, just walk and maybe have a glass of water, and a cold glass of water will cut your will of smoking a cigarette 100%. Okay. But everything that we do, there is a hidden benefit to it. And so if you're someone who, let's say overweight, if you're someone who's overweight and obese, there might be a hidden benefit behind. Is it because you don't want, okay, this is maybe a little bit deep, but I remember my mom saying, that there are people, and especially women, who may have been had some trauma as a kid and realized that if they were not beautiful, maybe they would not be having predators around them. And I think that that's actually a very powerful statement. And we have to look into the eyes of this. Is this the way that you are protecting yourself? And you know what? Is there a better way now that you're an adult and now that you can take care of yourself? And I'm giving you the permission as your rheumatologist and your friendly rheumatologist on YouTube and all of the social media to shed this. Maybe you do not need this year. And maybe this year You can work on losing some fat tissue. And it's not that you're not beautiful. You're probably beautiful, right? It's not about the weight, but it's about your health. Do you want to carry that weight that can potentially cause inflammation, that can cause diabetes, that can cause hypertension, that can cause joint pain? Or are you ready to let that go, right? So those are like the things that I wanted to share with you. You can, look at every single piece in your life that you want to change. Look at that. And I think go from there. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. If you are looking for a rheumatologist, it will be my honor to be yours. You can find us at info@unabridgedmd.com. And that's our email, info@unabridgedmd.com. Thank you so much for watching this live as Irene, Clea, and I can talk back, but after I'm not going to interrupt our discussion. And on live, I have Dr. Oh, hi. Hi, Dr. Zavo. It's always a pleasure to see you. Well, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. And it's a pleasure as always. Bye-bye.